please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Registers preliminary inquiry in Videocon ICICI Bank loan case. Utkarsh Chaturvedi is here with all the details. Utkarsh.
So, Mangalam, what CBI is confirming now is that a preliminary inquiry has been registered. But what, in fact, CBI says is that the PE was registered last month, and it is almost 3 to 4 weeks that the PE has been registered by CBI. What a PE means is it is the initial investigation stage of any investigative agency. So we cannot really say that there's something which is concrete which CBI has found. In fact, during the preliminary inquiry, if CBI really finds something, they go ahead and file an FIR. This is the next step. If CBI finds anything credible in the allegations which have been made to the PMO by the whistleblowers in this case at this point of time. Also, what has happened is that the nodal officers of the ICICI Bank who went ahead and processed this loan their statements have been recorded in this case. What we're picking up is that CBI will continue its investigation in the next few days, and we'll have to see where does it lead to. Does CBI go ahead and file an FIR, or will it question senior bank officials as well in this case?
Okay, Utkarsh, thank you so much for that. And on to the latest in this developing story then, the ICICI Bank Videocon story. CBI will examine ICICI Bank CEO Chanda Kochhar in the Dhoot loan case soon. Now, sources tell CNN News 18 that CBI already has recorded statements of officials involved in the loan process, and the investigative agency maintains that this is not an interrogation, but it is just a process to understand the loan process. Sources also confirmed that the CBI will examine if there was any quid pro quo between Deepak Kochhar and Videocon's Venugopal Dhoot. A preliminary inquiry says that Videocon was given a 3,250 crore rupee loan by ICICI Bank despite Videocon being declared a NPA in 2017. Now, over 2,800 crore rupees of this really remain unreturned.
Meanwhile, Videocon's Venugopal Dhoot defended himself in this entire controversy. Speaking to CNBC TV18, Shireen Bhan and Lata Venkatesh, Dhoot claimed that he did not indulge in any malicious transactions. Also went on to say that no regulator or investigating agency has contacted him or even questioned him. Hear him out.
I really telling you that 64 crore rupees matter. We don't know. Videocon Industries Limited or Videocon Group has not given any 64 crore investment in whatever company's name you call. It is the wrong information, and you say my huge investment, I had some 50,000 rupees investment. That is a huge, it is okay for me, but that's not a huge amount, 50,000 rupees, and I don't have any connection with Supreme Industries. What you company called, I don't know.
So, but the reports say that you were the owner of Supreme Energy, or a large shareholder of that company, Supreme Energy. This is exactly 50,
what... 50,000 rupees is a large. I like that.
No, not 50,000, sir. That you owned Supreme Energy, and Supreme Energy subscribed to 64 crores of convertible debentures.
No, whatever share I have of Supreme Energy, I sold. And I don't know what...
No, but when did you sell, sir? When did you sell? Because it looks like you have sold it after the transaction. The report says that you sold the shares in Supreme Energy in November of 2010, but the subscription to the debentures was in March of 2010.
Some information is going wrong. Some information is going
Sorry,
wrong.
Sir?
Some information is going wrong.
Has the Reserve Bank raised any questions with you? And I ask you this, Mr. Dhoot, because a letter to the effect of suggesting that there has been impropriety in the dealings between you, Deepak Kochhar, and Chanda Kochhar's involvement via ICICI Bank had made it to the Prime Minister's office as well on the 15th of March in 2016. Have you heard from the Reserve Bank, for instance, seeking any questions or clarifications on any of these transactions, Mr. Dhoot?
Yeah. I'm telling you that no question was asked because I am not involved in this transaction. I am not at all involved in this transaction. I invested only few thousand rupees in that. And that's why you are asking me all these questions. But nobody, no regulator, nobody has asked me any question because it is not in their record. that I have done anything wrong.
Can you explain to us why you chose to invest in Deepak Kochhar's company to start with? Was there a joint venture, or were you merely an investor in Deepak Kochhar's company? And secondly, why did you choose to then exit that within a matter of, about a month or so, sir?
Yeah, that is a good question. I tell you, at that time we were investing in various renewable energy companies. We have got investment in renewable energy company. That Mr. Kochhar's company also I invested few thousand rupees, but I thought that I have done too much, and now I don't want to go ahead. So I have sold my share back, and I don't have any investment in Deepak Kochhar's company today.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from Mr. Dhoot of Videocon. But ICICI Bank chairman has also defended CEO Chanda Kochhar, saying that she had no role in the grant of loans to debt-laden Videocon and that the loan was approved by bank's board's credit committee.
Some malicious and unfounded rumors that have been circulating in the past few days, casting insinuations on ICICI Bank and its MD and CEO. Similar rumors had first surfaced in mid-2016 and had been appropriately responded to at that stage. Nevertheless, these have been resurfaced in the recent past to malign the reputation of the bank and the MD and its CEO.
Well, back home on the Lal Street, the weak global cues and expiry pressurized market on Wednesday. The Nifty managed to hold on to the 10,100 mark, but the Sensex slipped over 200 points to end below the 33,000 mark. But remember, we are opening today after a longish weekend and a lot of important cues really lined up for the week. Sonia joins us to tell us how the cues stack up for the first working day of this financial year. Sonia, over to you.
Well, thanks for that, Anisha, and welcome back from your holiday. Things have actually been quite good in the past few days. We've seen a bit of a recovery. In fact, last week, the Nifty and the Sensex rallied about 1-odd%. There's been some recovery in the Bank Nifty as well. Last week, it went up about 2.6-odd%. But what's important to see if the Nifty holds on to the 200-day moving average of 10,180. It couldn't conclusively do that last week, and there are many triggers this week as well. So let's see how that plays out. In terms of the numbers, FII sold almost 1,200 crores in the cash markets on last week on Wednesday, and DIIs bought an equal amount, almost 1,960 odd crores. The global cues have been better than what we've seen in the last few days. So, on Thursday, the US markets rallied about 1-odd%. The Dow went up about 250 odd points. However, this morning, a lot of the markets are a bit subdued. In fact, across Asia, the Chinese markets have reacted to the news flow that China will implement tariffs on 128 US imports starting today. A couple of the markets are still closed for Easter. So markets in Australia, Hong Kong, New Zealand, etc. are closed today for Easter. Importantly, this week, there are many cues to react to. Auto sales have come out and they look quite good. So a lot of the companies will react to that. We have the RBI policy on the 5th of April. The expectation is, although the RBI will not move on rates, there could be a more hawkish stance by the Reserve Bank governor. So all eyes will be on that as well. And there are some Nifty, some stocks that have been included and excluded into the Nifty with effect from today. We'll talk about that, but plenty of cues to watch out for this week.
Absolutely, Sonia. Plenty of cues to watch out for. So let's take it straight to stocks. What are you watching?
Well, as I said, the Nifty exclusions and inclusions today. So Titan, Bajaj Finserv and Grasim will be included in the Nifty with effect from today. Ambuja Cement, Aurobindo Pharma and Bosch will be excluded from the Nifty. Now, ICICI Bank, as we know, has been in focus because of that, that row. ICICI Bank has said that no individual has the ability to influence the credit decision at the bank. CBI, though, has confirmed a preliminary inquiry registered in the Videocon ICICI Bank loan case. PNB came out with an update on the exchanges. They said that the board has decided to honor all the interbank LOUs. They will settle 350 LOUs, that were maturing before the 31st of March. So that will be in focus as well. Canara Bank and Canfin Homes could both be under pressure today. They've called off their divestment plan in Canfin Homes, something that the street was working with for many days now. That has been called off. So Canfin Homes could be under pressure. Lots of auto stocks in focus. Maruti, Tata Motors reporting very good numbers this time. Maruti a growth of 15%. Tata Motors very strong commercial vehicle sales. Eicher Motors also, Royal Enfield sales were very strong. We have a listing today. Auto ancillary manufacturer, auto component manufacturer Sandhar Tech will list today. And in terms of other stocks, Cadila Health, the US FDA has completed inspection at the Ahmedabad unit with 0 observations. So that stock could be on the upside. Back to you.
We told you first, it's official now. The government has cleared the runway for Air India's divestment. The government has given its in-principle nod to sell 76% stake in the national carrier Air India. Shireen Bhan spoke to the Minister of State Civil Aviation Jayant Sinha, began by asking him why the government would want to retain any stake at all in Air India, and here's what he had to say.
One of the things we do want to be able to do is to participate in the value creation that will happen once Air India is with new owners who will of course take it to great heights and make it into a great global airline. There will be tremendous value creation, and in fact if you look at what has happened to Maruti, Maruti today has a market cap of 2.7 lakh crores. It's become a very valuable company under private ownership, and we think that Air India will also do exceedingly well. We will in fact be absorbing some of the debt of Air India in the asset holding company that we are creating, and because we want to pay down that debt and we want to be able to fulfill all the obligations that government has, we would like to be able to maintain a certain residual stake in Air India so that we can participate in the value creation. I will of course point out that we are giving full management control to the new owner. So full management control will vest with the full owner. The government will participate so that we can be able to unlock some of the value that is in Air India. And of course there's a very other important point to note, Shireen, which is that the ESOP that we will create, the stock ownership pool that we will create for employees will come out of the government stake of 24%. So government stake will probably even fall below 20% once we create the ESOP pool for employees as well. So we want to really make sure that the value creation is fully shared by employees and of course by the people of India as Air India really progresses and does much better going forward.
You know, Mr. Sinha, you talked about value creation, but you also talked about the other big concern, and that is with respect to debt. And let me ask you for clarification, sir, because as per the memorandum, you basically say that liabilities, which is current liabilities as well as net liabilities aggregating to a total of about 33,000 crore rupees will remain with Air India and AIXL, and the balance debt shall be allocated to Air India Asset Holding. So the bidder will have to take on 33,000 crores odd in terms of debt. And how much would be the balance that would then move to Air India Asset Holding, sir?
There is 24,576 crore of interest-bearing debt that will be transferred to the new Air India. If you look at our reports, annual reports that we put out for fiscal year 2016-17, you will see that the total amount of interest-bearing debt that we have right now is almost about 50,000 crores. And so we will be transferring 24,576 crores of that to the new Air India. The remainder, which is about 25,000 crores, will stay with the asset holding company. The additional 8,800 crores of current liabilities that will go with the new Air India really represent net working capital. They're not interest-bearing debt. But for the sake of accuracy, we have said that debt, interest-bearing debt, plus current liabilities will amount to 33,392 crores.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from Jayant Sinha. Important details regarding the debt breakup, as well as suggesting that a lot of value creation is possible for all the stakeholders given the privatization. But from the world of airlines, let's shift focus to the world of auto space then, because the March auto sales number came out yesterday. Maruti reported its highest sales since September 2017, while commercial vehicle sales for Tata Motors grew by 37%. Sonia joins us back with all the numbers for all the auto companies. Sonia, back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Anisha. 3 companies came out with their numbers, Maruti, Eicher Motors and Tata Motors, and all 3 looked pretty good. So I expect all 3 stocks to be in the green today. For Maruti, as you rightly pointed out, these are the highest sales numbers since September of 2017. A very good growth, 15% year-on-year growth is what we've seen. The utility vehicle sales, which is the Ertigas, S-Cross, the Vitara Brezza, the sales have looked very good, almost a growth of 25% on a year-on-year basis. Even if you look at the trend, for the last 4 or 5 months, it's been somewhere between 1.3 to 1.4 lakhs. This time it's gone to the 1.6 lakh mark. Apart from that, Tata Motors reported a very strong sales figure in its commercial vehicle business. Of course, it's hardly anything in the consolidated business, but nevertheless, things are picking up over there. Total CV sales went up 37%. The tipper segment, which is used for transporting sand and coal for construction and road activities, that segment did very well. So tipper segment went up by 58%. Even passenger vehicle segment was good actually. 32% growth is what we've seen this time. Increased demand for Tiago and Tigor, along with the Nexon and Hexa gaining in the utility vehicle segment, is what boosted the passenger vehicles. Apart from that, Royal Enfield sales were largely in line with estimates. So no surprises there. Total sales growth of 27% year-on-year, coming in at 76,087 units. It's largely in line with the trend we've seen for the last many months as well. So looking pretty good there.
All right, looking pretty good there as far as auto sales are concerned, but we need to keep an eye out on the input fuel costs. Diesel prices all-time high, petrol prices at 4-year high, and this at a time when crude is down almost 50% from its all-time high. So we'll watch out for this trend, but let's just focus to the primary market action now. Sonia, you have a busy day. Auto component maker Sandhar Technologies set to make its stock market debut.
Yes, it will. In fact, as you rightly pointed out, it's a small company. It's an auto component manufacturer, but it has some great clients. All the marquee clients it supplies to. Hero MotoCorp is one of its biggest clients. 50% of revenues comes from there. TVS Motor, Tata Motors, all the commercial vehicle manufacturers are Sandhar Technologies clients. In fact, the subscription was also pretty good. The issue got subscribed 6.2 times. The QIB portion was subscribed about 14.5 times. NII portion was subscribed almost 7 times. The price band is about 327 to 332, and the company managed to raise about 150 crores through the anchor book as well. Now the revenue, the financial profile has been pretty good of the company. So the revenues have grown at a compounded annual rate of around 9%. Profits have grown at 20%, and they will be using the net proceeds to reduce their loans. However, the stock is a bit expensive compared to its peers for sure. Back to you.